Alrighty, welcome back everybody to Berserk. Let's just jump straight into it. A new volume, a new set of chapters. Last time on Berserk, obviously, we departed in the morning. We beat the shit out of Griffith and essentially told him, no, I am not just your dog. So now let me go, please. Let me go. I'm off. Bye-bye. Take care. And might probably hurt Griffith's pride and probably his entire world during that matter. But anyways, we will continue on with our journey. The next set of chapters, Night of Skeleton. First image that I'm seeing, skeleton with the behelit and something that resembles the crown of thorns with a rose. I think it's a rose. But interesting imagery nonetheless. I think I know who we are referring to as the Knight of Skeleton here, because I'm gonna be real here. When I first met him in the Berserk movies, it was kind of jarring because he just appears out of nowhere and says, "Hey Guts, the apocalypse is coming," and then he just ran off, and then he appears again towards the end of the eclipse to save Guts, and I'm like, what the? Who is this person? But he's kind of a badass, isn't he? So I'm hoping that by now that I am reading the manga, now that I'm reading these chapters and that are actually, you know, essentially I'm just hoping that all of those things that I am missing, all of those little itsy bitsy little information are finally gonna get filled for me, and I'm gonna get, you know, like the bigger picture of it all. So let us continue with Night of Skeleton. Lovely night. I do love this imagery right here of the moon. It's kind of like an eye, the way the clouds are parting. It's like looking at you. It's like looking at Guts, cutting from the moon to the owl, who it's actually looking at Guts. Interesting. So, Guts all alone, sitting, making a fire. What is that, a wolf? Why am I so scared? Alone. Yeah, it's been a while since I camped alone like this. When I think about it, I haven't been truly alone once these 3 years. I'd forgotten the sense of unease unless my sword's right next to me. I'd forgotten that the night was this vast, this deep. Love this imagery. All alone, surrounded by darkness. Of course, I could have avoided nights like this back then. I never even thought to try. Some self-reflection from Guts here. Maybe I'm once again trying to throw something away. Irreplaceable that I'll never have again. Trying to throw away something irreplaceable that I'll never find, that I'll never have again. To be honest, as long as I can feel warm, isn't that good enough? Am I trying to let go of an irreplaceable today for some vague tomorrow I might never find, if it even exists? Even without some big exaggerated dream, people go on living. In the first place, I got this idea in my head from hearing Griffith's words. If I hadn't, throws more wood into the fire. So, can I say I've set out by my own will? Still, though, the imagery of Guts being Griffith's shadow. After all, I can never become Griffith, says Corcus. That's not today anymore. It's yesterday. Whoa. Mist coming in. Shadow approaching. Guts taking his sword ready. What? What was that? That bloodthirstiness. A beast? No. I remember this. This savagery that feels like it clings. Could it be? Could it be Zod? No, obviously not, considering the title. Wonder if he's going to remember or get a glimpse of like Gambino. It blindsided me. That easily? I couldn't even react. I can't move. If I move, that's when I'll be killed. Takes the sword, tries to swing it. Oh. Yeah. That is interesting though. The mist, the fog kind of takes shape, and then the skull appears. And then boom, there he is. So either he teleported into this place through the mist, through the fog, or the fog just kind of covers his tracks and now he's just appearing out of it. But either way, beautiful. So this is our first ever encounter with the Skull Knight, the Knight of Skeleton. And the symbol, the sigil, whatever it is, of the thorns and the rose right there in his armor, or the horse armor even, or is that his shield? I think that's a shield. Impossible. I'm sure he was right behind me. I've never misread an enemy's presence once. I could have sworn he was trying to bring his sword down on me. Zod? No, it's not. But this weird, unreal feeling. So the gears have indeed begun turning. Gears? What's that mean? You, struggler. Take heed, struggler. I have heard that term multiple times throughout like the Berserk community. Like people who love Berserk always refer to other people as like struggler. So this is my first ever instance of actually seeing the word or reading the word in the manga. Take heed. 1 year hence shall be the time of the eclipse. You and your friends, those yet unseen of the fleshless flesh, and that unkingly half of yours, shall all be gathered then in that place. A torrent of madness, a tempest of death for which the human body could never atone, shall sweep over you. But take heed, struggler. You were born from a corpse and began your life from death in the mud. You are closer to death than anyone. Thus, you excel in escaping it. Ooh, that's interesting. Because he has... So the way that the Skull Knight is referring to Guts is essentially that because Guts is so near death, he is more experienced in it, and therefore he has a better chance of avoiding it. The fact that he is so close to death and yet he is still alive today kind of shows how lucky Guts is, and the more likely it is that he will excel to escape it. Interesting. Fascinating. Also I don't know what it's called, but the horse armor that is like right in front. So here it's like this figure of this very naked lady and like wings and the hair kind of covering her boobs and such. Reminds me a bit of the... What's her name? I'm forgetting. I don't even remember if... Yeah, I should know her name by now, but I just forgot. But one of the members of the God Hand, right? The lady figure with, obviously, you know, like... It's a Sloane or Slane or something. I don't remember, but it kind of reminds me of that. So I'm still curious, like, who this Skull Knight is supposed to be. Like, his allegiance, why he is here. Why is he telling Guts about all of these upcoming events? The apocalypse. Well, not the apocalypse, but the eclipse. Like, why? Why is he telling him all of this? What is his goal? What is his action? This is twice now that I don't want to say a monster figure, but a force of nature appearing before Guts, the first one being Zod, that has kind of warn him about the upcoming future. Zod was a bit more vague, but the Skull Knight is very much so more detailed. Like, yeah, name dropping the eclipse, and hey, yeah, everybody you know is probably gonna die, except maybe for you, because you're the main character. But anyways, let us continue on. Who is this? Struggle, contend, wriggle, that alone is the sword of one who confronts death. Never forget this. Who the hell are you? How do you know about me? In the abyss of despair, only he who stands up with broken sword in hand. Perhaps. And then he goes, oh, wait! An illusion? No. Footprints of the skeleton. The Knight of Skeleton. So Guts kind of name him on the spot, like, an illusion? No, the Knight of Skeleton. Either that, or the Knight of Skeleton is actually somebody or something that is kind of like folklore, something that the residents or the people of the world of Berserk kind of knows about. I'm kind of getting the feeling like that is the more, I guess, appropriate idea behind it. Whereas with Zod, it's more of a, well, I mean, Zod is also kind of legendary at the same time, so I don't know. But I'm getting the feeling that Zod, the Skeleton Knight, the Knight of Skeleton, and I guess a bunch of other ones are prominent legendary figures. And so the knight moves on. Rain, rain, rain. It's coming. It's coming. Charlotte. Now the snow will melt. Please hurry to bed, Your Highness. You will catch a cold. Yes, you are dismissed for the day. Her Highness seems depressed. That she does. Lord Julius, Lord Adonis, and even Her Majesty the Queen have all died in succession. I'd be gloomy too if I lost 3 relatives in a row. But Lord Julius and Lord Adonis aside, Her Highness disliked Her Majesty so much. Don't be foolish. So much the more because they were, after all, parent and child. And once the maids are out, you can see Griffith coming in with his legs on that panel, peering on the window on the other. Not creepy at all. Is something the matter? It's nothing. Go. Shoo. Opens the window for him. Lord Griffith, what in the world are you doing in the rain and at this hour? Good evening, Princess Charlotte. It would cause a terrible uproar if it were known that a gentleman had entered the palace alone this late. If anyone were to see you, therefore, if Her Highness doesn't object, would she permit me to enter her room? If someone were to see me now, it would inflict damage upon your honor. Besides, it's rather difficult to keep one's balance out here. Yes, of course. Come in. Your pardon. Then Griffiths comes in, all wet and soggy. Forgive me for dripping so much water into the lady's chamber, and for my impoliteness in visiting so late. Embracing Griffith, embracing warmth. Oh, I miss you. Since that day, half a year ago, ever since we parted that morning you went too far. I've been so scared ever since that day you've left. I'd wake up so many times breathless from nightmare that you had died on the battlefield. And then once you came back, safely, the dreadful thing happened at the victory ball. I passed out. When I woke up, then it was my stepmother who... I never did manage to come to terms with her. I didn't even try. Nothing but frightening and sad things have happened. Sad. I said sad. Nothing but frightening and sad things have happened. I've been so alone. Why? Why didn't you come to see me sooner than this? Here it is. It's finally come. Those words that Charlotte said to Griffith is like the light bulb. Like this right here. Griffith's eye just losing all sense of humanity, and Griffith like just so dark and pale. It's kind of like a light bulb that just appeared out of his head, right? Like, now's the time. Griffith has finally realized how much Charlotte has fallen for him, and now he plans to take action. Take the crown, take the throne, take the kingdom. Especially after what happened between Griffith and Guts, he needs a victory. And unfortunately, he's going to lash out his anger from Guts to Charlotte. Start of the everlasting night. Charlotte is surprised. Some tongue action. Drowning in pleasure, melting at it. Hands that was holding Griffith now just lets go. Take me. Griffith continues. No. Doesn't matter. Continues regardless. Take it to the bed. Shaking. Are you afraid? Take all the frightening and sad things and cast them into the fire. Whoa. That is some fantastic imagery as well. Was there actually a fireplace in her room? I don't think so. Let me go back. I don't see it. But regardless, it is set for imagery, and the imagery is spectacular. Meanwhile, the Band of the Hawk just sitting and kind of taking in what has happened before, right? It sure is raining. Have you guys seen Griffith? A fluke, I tell ya, a fluke. I say, no good. Isn't that right? Say it so, a little Rickard. Corcus is drunk. Nope, haven't seen him since what happened today. Opens Guts' room. Casca looks at the old armor and the sword as well that is broken. Fascinating. Casca taking Guts' sword, right? The sword that has always been a comfort for Guts, a means of protection, a means of defense, and also a tool to fight off all of the evil that is trying to get to Guts, like figuratively speaking. And now Casca holding it dearly, hugging it, right? We cut back to this. Man, this imagery of Griffith, though. Prominently showing the behelit. You believe that, don't you? Remembering Guts' words. Take care. And when I mean beforehand that he is going to lash out his anger and aggression towards Charlotte, I mean that the way he is having sex with her, and this is Charlotte's first time, he is taking Charlotte's virginity, right? But it is far more aggressive, right? It's an aggressive first time for Charlotte. It's not like a more... It's not romantic. It's not elegant. It's not soft. It's not sensual. It is full-on aggression. Rough sex, if you will. And I feel like at this point, Griffith, knowing how much Charlotte actually loves him, Charlotte is more open to this. Like, she is okay with this because it doesn't matter. She is finally one with him. Oh, wow. Wow. Hang on. Wow. I'm tilting my head. Really cool imagery. Showing both Charlotte here, like Charlotte's actual physical form as she is becoming one with Griffith, and then the more prominent, bigger version of Charlotte, which is kind of like a representation of like what she is feeling on the inside, right? Ecstasy, pleasure. Casca staring at the window, hoping for a miracle. But of course that's never gonna happen because Guts is so far away. And then the maid looking at them. Oh, I guess there is a fireplace. Okay. From the maid's perspective, like, yeah, okay. And off she goes. Scandal in the kingdom. Morning has come. The princess just tired from everything. And Griffith just... Ooh. Whoa. Tears? I see. Is that tears? Some of these are sweat, yes, but are those tears? Oh, these scratches on his back, probably from like Charlotte, right? As she's like holding on to him. But this imagery of Griffith all alone, though, going back to what happened before earlier in the previous chapter of Guts sitting by, right, as darkness consumes him. Now the same thing is happening to Griffith. Darkness is consuming Griffith. Only this time, the difference between this and Guts is that with Guts, there is actual fire that is lighting him, that is illuminating him, right? There is a friend to be with Guts. Whereas here, Griffith is all alone. Griffith is the light source. Rise and shine. Lord Griffith? Lord Griffith? Wait, is that the... Was this the toy soldier figure that Griffith hold on to all those chapters ago? I feel like it is. It's been a long while since I've actually seen that since I've actually read those chapters. But I feel like it is. Symbolizing his dream, right? His ambition. Giving it to her as a gift. Wakey, she takes off the blanket, looks at what... Well, there's some explanations that you need to tell the maids and such of the castle on why there is blood on the sheets. Uh-oh. Her expression, it is You know, I've been talking about this a lot when it comes to Berserk, but Miura and his sense of, or his portrayal of the character emotions and the expressions of other people, like we just witnessed the both of them having sex like a couple of pages ago, and it is very intimate, it is very raw, I would say. And then the aftermath of this is Charlotte having this really anime simplistic expression of you know, the expression where the eyes suddenly lose fidelity and it's just a single like circle and such. It's so, I don't know, there's a charm to it, but yeah. Griffith escaping, whoopsie daisies, the whole army is here. And now he is caught. Well, if it isn't His Excellency, the future White Phoenix General, why on earth is the White Hawk sneaking out of the palace at this hour? Ah, he forgot his sword. Right, my sword. Well, it's not that he forgot his sword, it's more so that he got fucking wrecked by Guts. No doubt the details will be determined without haste later. Circumstances pending, you may have committed treason against Midland's royal house. Take him away. Interesting shot of and the use of these spears, not in full detail, but just straight up black lines to kind of imprison Griffith in this panel. I beg you, wait, Your Majesty. In any case, this is the word of an inexperienced court lady. Perhaps she mistook what she saw in the dark to suspect Her Highness based on that. Silence! Father. Well, she is dressed, so that is good. But what about the sheets, though? Is the king going to see the sheets? Is he going to see the bloodstains? He's gonna click on it. He's gonna be like, oh, well, shit. I just saw the panel right there. Well, it's Jover. Whatever is the matter? Coming here so early? Even if you are my father, you should never just barge into an adolescent girl's room without permission. How thoughtless. Seeing all of the bruise marks, all of the biting that Griffith did? Please depart. All of the wet from the rain in her room. The very detailed expression of the king, like, oh. Father takes off the sheet. Don't! Well, it's over. It's over. Off to the gallows he goes. Well, not to the gallows, but more so to the dungeon Griffith goes, and there he will be tortured for all of eternity. Charlotte! How could you? My poor innocent daughter, how could you? But the genuine shock in his face, though, it says it all. Yeah. Start of the everlasting night N. The fallen hawk. As we continue on. Look at all of those torture devices on Griffith. Ooh la la. Is this the king coming in without his hat? I'm not sure. Or is this somebody else? Hang on, let me. Oh yeah, it's the king. It's definitely the king. He has his attire and such. Oh, the contrast between like in the image itself, though, like the pure blacks and the pure whites, really good. Griffith. It had been my great hope that someday you would have shouldered a large part of Midland's army as a military genius. Those words I said to you then were no fiction. There were not a few who slandered your group as a band of thieves, but I didn't think so. Each time the band of the Hawk distinguished itself on the battlefield, it heightened my assertion. For some time, I've held that a knight's merit is not derived from lineage or social position, but that the stress should instead be placed on his actions and the use of resources. However, takes on the whip, a thief is still a thief. Was your common blood not good enough? So is that his main concern? I mean, obviously, Charlotte being, obviously that is a concern, yes, but the other major concern is the fact that Griffith is just not of noble blood. I can't believe my daughter got her virginity taken away from a man not of noble blood. From a commoner. My foolish daughter. It's as if she doesn't understand what it means to be of her Yep. Doesn't understand what it means to be of her status, the importance of the succession of royal blood. The princess of a kingdom behaves with the rashness of some townsgirl. Her frivolity? English. Her frivolity is excessive. But even so, even that foolish, frivolous girl is everything to me. I would give myself, even this kingdom, in exchange for her. She's my whole life. What value is there in this world? Wars raging on, and the people's lives are lost like they were insects after how many decades of war and how many tens of thousands of corpses were finally built at a time of remembered peace, but it's only for an instant. On the underside, the monster named war is always seeking new blood, starting to brew itself anew. In the face of that monster, the will of one's land's king is powerless. The wisdom of one man is folly. And yet I cannot cease being king. There's no way I can stop. In this blood-stained, meaningless world, if there is one single ray of hope to be found, it is warmth. Only warmth covers and protects me from this world. You have taken the one flower that gives me that warmth and plucked it. Unforgivable. Alas, my poor Charlotte. I brought her up for 17 years. She knowing no impurity. Now that she's given herself up to the sport of a commoner, I'd rather have that you rather. To have been with Princess Charlotte would have had her yourself. Don't you want her to have you? The good old middle agent says, yeah, I'm gonna marry my daughter. Griffith is not wrong, though, in this sense. Like, I think Griffith pretty much knows what the king is scheming. Given what we have known about Griffith and his, how much he knows about the kingdom and the kings and the queens and the princess and anything that is political. Plus, Griffith pretty much understands, like, basic politics and and like these empires, these kingdoms, right? What are you? I had thought it was strange. In Princess Charlotte's 17 years, there must have been many profitable proposals. Oh, that is true. That is true. In fact, 17 years is kind of old, I would say. Like, back in the old days, you would have like kings and queens, or princess and princes that married at the age of like 12, 14 even. So 17 is like pretty old from like this era's standard. So yeah, interesting. I don't think that has, yeah, they never actually talk about that, have they? And it's something that I've never really thought about in the first place at all, because it was just never brought up in the first place. Yeah, there would have been plenty of proposals. Well, there was one in regards to who was it? In regards to like Adonis, right? General Julius wanted Prince Adonis to marry Princess Charlotte. In Princess Charlotte's 17 years, there must have been many profitable proposals of marriage. Rather, political marriage is the way of the world for warring nations, but you refuse to let go of her. The great king on the throne of Midland, once renowned with majesty throughout all lands, is actually nothing more than a lonely, miserable old man who can't find any reason to live beyond his beloved 17-year-old daughter. You'll live on by resigning yourself to the monster you envision, but you've by no means tried to harness that monster. While you were born to this, I'm kind of shocked and surprised that the king is just letting Griffith, keep this monologue going. While you were born to the sword called the throne and held it, it was nothing more than a burden to you. How dare you! You've done nothing more than not fail. How worthless. Silence! And the lashing continues, and that is a lot of blood spurts. Be silent! Bam, 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 bam! What the hell do you know? What does a fool like you know of being a king? The land, history, the lives of the people, all on your shoulders. What do you know? I think the fact that the king is also very, lashing all of this out is also kind of very telling of like his actual plans. Like Griffith just cracked him. Like, yeah, I just told you your plan. I just exposed you of how much of a fucking piece of shit you are. The guards are like, should we interrupt this? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, this imagery though. Griffith, despite being whipped, tortured, he looks at the king, smirking, like, yeah. Beat the shit out of me all you want. I know your truth. Hello, who are you? The torturer. Torturer, Shire. Yes, Shire. Do whatever you wish with this man. He has signed gravely against Midland's royal house. You're certain? However, you must not kill him. However feebly, he shall live another year. Death is mercy. Torture him until the end of days. Make him beg for the sweet release of death. But it's never gonna come. He shall be made to see the gravity of his crime while he yet draws breath. Listen, I forbid you to tell anyone anything about this. By my royal judicial power, I charge this man personally with treason against Midland's royal house. I must somehow protect my daughter's dignity. If I were to hear about this from anyone else, even just a trifle, they and their entire household, without exception, will be sentenced to death. Yes, sire. You are young, no doubt, your heart burned with dreams and ambition. If you had but known your place, you might possibly have attained them. No. This must have been because you're young. It's disappointing that the White Hawk of the battlefield would destroy himself over such a worthless matter. I never would have guessed. This is the end of your dreams, your ambition, everything. The hawk has fallen to earth. It will never take flight again. And then the shadow slowly closing in as the door is closed. Where is Charlotte? Until a bit ago, she had been crying, but the doctor gave her medicine and she just fell asleep. Until I say otherwise, no one is to come near his room. And trifle and triple the current number of palace guards. Charlotte. Aeneas have so brought out her mother's face. Ugh, that's... I don't know, man. In certain contexts, that would be pretty sweet and beautiful, like, oh, you have your mother's eyes, and that's pretty beautiful, but in the context of, like, you kind of want her for yourself, I would imagine, kind of disgusting. Ugh. So he touched these lips. Oh, I don't like the way he's drawn. Now he's very slimy. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no 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 no. He's about to give in to his desire. So this body was touched by his tongue, his fingers. Oh, no, man. Oh, this slimy fuck. Oh, no. You know, I will say she is pretty well developed for a 17-year-old. Like, she has a very mature body. Oh, no, I didn't think it would go this far. Oh, it went that far. No. Oh, that is so disgusting. Oh, fuck. Charlotte wakes up. Yeah. Please, Charlotte, please get the fuck out of here. The king also just stripped her off entirely. I just noticed that. I thought it was just like her top half. No, her entire body. Like there's no clothing there. She is fully naked. What the fuck? Don't, please don't go any further than this. Please don't go any further than this, please. Yes. Worthless. This is worthless. End of the Fallen Hawk. Come on, Griffith! Get up! Show me your dream, Griffith. Come on! You gotta achieve that dream of yours, man. Oh, man. I think... okay, here's the thing, right? Sorry. But here's the thing. Had we not read the Black Swordsman arc, if the Golden Age arc is our first ever introduction to the world of Berserk, if there had not been any hints or clues in regards to Griffith becoming the main antagonist, the main villains of the main villain of the entire series. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people would probably be cheering for Griffith at this moment. Like, cheering as in, please don't give up. Please, as in showing sympathy and, like, sadness. Like, oh, damn. Look at him. Because on one hand, I do feel sorry for Griffith. And by a part of me, I mean like a very small portion of me feels sorry for Griffith. But on the other hand, it's more like, it's more. A lot of the things that is going on in my mind right now is what would have happened to Griffith if none of this has ever happened before. Like, if Griffith had not been tortured, if Griffith had not been deprived from his actual dream, right? Because his dream is obviously to control the world, right? To gain his own kingdom and, you know, and be king and be more than a king, I guess. Had Griffith not be caught, would he have found a different way? Would none of Berserk ever happen if that is the case? Because to me, this part where Griffith is being chained, imprisoned, tortured for years on end now, right? Well, years to the future, right? This is his breaking point. You drag an angel to the depths of hell. Nobody came to save you. Once you get out of hell, are you still an angel at that point? Or will you have succumbed to death and become the devil yourself? Demise of a dream. Shove her? Shove him. Not her. Him. Shove him. Yes. Good. 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 Man, that's a lot of force, actually. Like, the king is pretty big in size. Charlotte just shoved him and he just fell to the ground. That takes a lot of force. Oh no, please don't. Dude, just stop. You don't. Wait, Charlotte, it's a misunderstanding. No, it's not. Oh man, I don't remember what happened to the king. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all happening when I'm recollecting my memories of like the Berserk movies and such. Like, I don't remember this at all. I remember Charlotte eventually will help out the Ben of the Hawk in rescuing Griffith, but I don't remember what actually happened to the king himself. He keeps going. He keeps doing it, man. Oh man. Oh, I just saw him trying to lick her mouth. Oh. That is pure depravity. Kick him, yes. No. He's going for the. What are these chapters, man? What are these? What is going on? He is going after her legs. No. Nobody's there to save her, though. And it's not like the maids are gonna come in and save her. Like, what do they have against the king? The king is just gonna order them to be executed if they come in and try to, intervene. Oh, these, kick him again. Yes. Yes. Scream at Lord Griffith. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, what did she hit? Like, did he lose an eye? What the what? And now the trauma begins. Wow, would you look at that? She didn't get trauma because of the aggression that Griffith gave her, because while it is kind of aggression, it is still love, quote unquote, that she experienced at that night. This is just full on sexual rape assault. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Now the trauma begins. Well, no wonder she wanted to help the band of dogs. Like, ay, 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 ay. Well, I know who's like the worst character in Berserk now. One of, at the very least. Save me, Lord Griffith. Damn you, Griffith! Lost his teeth, lost everything. Oh yeah. Now the band of the hawk is gonna get ambushed. Oh, so that's why the band of the hawk gets ambushed, is because the king was rejected by his own daughter of sexual assault, and now because the daughter is more worried and seeks out Griffith for help and not her father for obvious reasons, the father is now fucking jealous of it, and so the father decided, you know what, let's just eliminate everything that has to do with Griffith. Like, the band of the hawk, they helped us during the war. Now they're kind of expendable. We kind of did give them like, hey, you're gonna be the White Knights or whatever. You're gonna be noble status. No, we're just gonna ignore that I ever said that and kill them all. What could this be about? Griffith calling us out here suddenly? It's not Griffith. No. I'm guessing training. Without any equipment. Then it's riding practice, right? He never came back to the barracks yesterday. I guess he really was in shock. Dumbass! Is Griffith the type who'd let that get him down? He was out having fun! Fun! Yeah, bud. Give it a rest already. Look here. Griffith ain't gonna fall apart just because that jerk split. Corcus. Captain Guts. I miss him so much. Says Gus. The setting and the tone and the atmosphere in this moment is very, very on point. Like the grayness of it all, like you can see the clouds are just covering the sun. No sunlight here to save you, right? Your sunshine, your light source, which is Griffith, which we talked about before, is gone. There is no light to save you. Wow. Griffith is sure late. Hearing the noises of the environment, Pippin goes, "What's up, Pippin?" "Everyone take cover!" Arrows. All raining down upon them. Those armor? Kinda useless. What the enemies? And, oh shit, that Rickard. And they're all here. Surrounded. They're surrounded and they're all in the low ground as well. Everybody else is in the high ground. Like, ah, shit. Like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like... they're done for. I mean, they're not really done. I mean, we know some of them. The key main characters are gonna be alive, but still though. Insane. Insane what and how this was assembled. Troops? Has Cheddar driven across the border? No, that's Midland? The Midland army? And they're shooting with crossbows as well? Like, yep, okay. Well, they're dead. They're all dead. Son of a bitch, what the hell is going on? Are we gonna bite it here? And we're approaching. Man, the Midland army is slowly approaching their Lord of the Rings, basically. The final battle against the armies of Mordor, where the final bits of the last remnants of the army of men is just surrounded by the infinite armies of Mordor. Yeah, that's basically what is happening here. Casca taking control. Form ranks. If we scatter and run, we're all dead. Get into a wedge formation. We'll break through at one point and escape. Arrows. All pointing towards Casca. And then we cut. Like, cliffhanger. Wow. I wonder what's going to happen to Casca. I mean, I know Casca's gonna be alive, but still though. If I had not known that, I would be on the edge of my seat. You know what I mean? That's just the thing about these Berserk reactions, especially during the Golden Age arc. It's like, I know the plot beats, like I know what is gonna happen. I just don't forget about most of the dialogue and what actually happens on scene, but plot-wise, I know what is gonna happen, so not a lot of things actually surprise me unless there are things that I either forget or things that I have not seen before. But interesting though, during her final moments, he thinks of Griffith. You're amazing. This is much torture, and you haven't made a peep. I've never seen such the leader of the Hawks for you. I'm so moved, letting me do whatever I want with such a beautiful, splendid one like you. The king's so gracious. Huh? Oh, that's great. Nate, can I keep this? The behelit just opening its eyes like boo boo. Sure. What a wish. I went and dropped it. And the behelit is gone. Demise of a dream. Damn. And it's never and that is the last time we see the behelit. It's never been seen again. Griffith stays tortured for all of eternity. Guts is living his best life, just going around tournaments, it seems, and everything goes horribly for the Band of the Hawks, and that is the end of Berserk. No, I'm joking. Let's just continue on further, shall we? Arms tournament. Do I want to continue? I don't know. This feels like a completely different side story or a different, I guess, arc, right? Not arc, but more like it's not really the same. You know what, I'm gonna end it there. It's been an hour of recording. That is where we are going to be ending our current read through of Berserk. We shall continue on with the arms tournament. I don't remember this at all, actually. I think this is new for me. We're gonna continue on with the arms tournament and see how that goes in regards to Guts and his adventure. But this section of Berserk, where we were mostly discussing about Griffith and the fall of his dream, supposedly, because it's actually at the start of his dream. It is such an interesting experience to see all of these new scenes, moments, panels, story beats that I have not seen before in the Golden Age. And I can understand why, though. Like the king trying to rape his daughter is very disturbing. It serves its purpose well. The purpose of those scenes is to be disturbed. I know Berserk has had a reputation, at least in regards to the people who are criticizing Berserk, I do know that Berserk has a reputation of a reputation of people criticizing a lot of the unsettling moments in regards to a lot of the female characters in Berserk, and how a lot of people don't like the way Miura depicts all of these moments, and they find absolute disgust in them. But I disagree with them before I even read Berserk, and now that I'm reading Berserk, I disagree with them even more. Are these scenes disturbing? Yes. But they serve a purpose. Like, you saw my reactions. I was vividly disgusted by the actions of the king. And the fact that Miura depicted those scenes in high detail, like, you see the full frontal nudity of Charlotte, you see the king himself, you see his expressions, you see the moves that he does with Charlotte, and you know, like, the actual actions that he does. It is disturbing. It is disgusting. And that is the emotion that Miura wanted the reader and the audience to feel, and he succeeded 100% in that regard. So, but I do understand, I do know and understand that some people just cannot stomach those things, and for those people, I will say, you know, like, I get it, I completely understand why, like, especially if, getting a bit more real here, but especially if people have actually experienced these assaults in their lives, I can 100% understand why they would feel disgusted, because it would remind them of these things, and it's traumatizing, to say the least, right? And there is the argument that comes from that in regards to how media depicts such violent actions, and how much of it is warranted, justified, and morally right or wrong. Like, I think there is an argument to be had in that regard. I'm just, currently, I am not in the full mood to discuss it further, other than the fact that what I said before, that I don't really mind seeing it, but I do fully understand why it is on screen, and why it is, like, on the pages, right? It's not really, I don't think Miura made these very sexually explicit scenes for quote-unquote fan service, like, hey, boobies, you know, like, I don't think that's the point, and I don't think you're meant to feel some sort of arousal. I don't know what to say, but, like, if you feel that way, you're the one who's really the problem. But it all goes back to a lot of the discussions that I had before in regards to, technically, they can showcase that moment without explicitly showing full frontal nudity, you know, like, let's say in movies and such, you know, when those scenes happen, there's sometimes the directors would actually, you know, not really focus on the full body of the person, and just, you know, focus on their expressions, their faces, the essentially trying their best to hide or to censor the act itself. And either approach I don't mind at all. Obviously, the approach of the safer, more censored approach is more tasteful, I would say. Like, it's like, if a story or a visual medium is trying to depict such things, and they are doing it that way, there's a sense of, we value other, there's a sense that I feel like the creators value other people's sense of morality. I don't. Yeah. The value of somebody's own perception of the matter and the matter itself. Whereas going full uncensored is a more bold and risky venture, because by then you are inviting a lot more controversy, because one may say that it's art and it's fine, and then others will say this is self-indulgent, right? So there is a conversation and there is a debate to be had in regards to the depiction of these moments in various different stories and various different mediums, not just in Berserk, but like a bunch of other stories have depicted this in one way or another, right? Like, there's plenty of stories, can't really think of it at the top of my head already, but plenty of stories that I have seen where scenes like that may have happened, you know, where a character is sexually assaulted, sexually abused, and the creators will either show it explicitly to evoke a raw emotion from the audience, or they censor it in some ways or another because they don't want to fully because they may have their own sense of morality to it. I don't know, but that's just my take on it. For me, once again, like I said, like I'm perfectly fine as long as I understand why they're doing it, and if it works for me, then I don't really have much of an issue. And I think that's going to be pretty much it for my review, my mini review of this set of chapters of Berserk, or well, more importantly, like that specific moment in this video. So hope you guys enjoy. We will continue on next week. And I will see you all then. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.